What's up guys, Zach from Players. I'm here with another LinkedIn video for you today. So, I like to make videos about the thing that I'm most passionate about, and that is video games. And video games is and will always be at the absolute cutting edge of interactive media innovation. And so, for all of you product managers out there, for you marketing managers, and for you entrepreneurs, or just gamers, right? I think that thinking about video games in more than just a entertainment perspective, thinking about it from an product innovation perspective is really important. And so I'm reading two books right now. One is the Nintendo book that I've talked a little bit about, but the other is called Games, Design, and Play, a detailed approach to iterative game design by Colleen Macklin and John Sharp. Now this is the kind of book that you would read if you were taking like a game design 110 or a game design 101 class in an undergraduate program for game design. Now for those of you out there that don't know what game design means, it's different than game development. Game development is actually the coding, the writing of code for video games. Game design is actually thinking about how people navigate the maze. What are they looking at? What draws their attention, right? Why, when you're on a website, does everybody in the world know that you can click the logo of the website and it brings you back to the default homepage? Who came up with that concept? Who came up with the concept that 3 lives is the golden standard for every video game, right? These are principles, these are product management principles that came into vogue at different points in iterative life cycles, and now they're just accepted as universal. So with this book, right, it talks a lot about how games are designed, different competitive structures, and I feel like there's a lot of insight here for thinking about your product, whether it's B2C, B2B, or just straight up sales, right? I just think it's a good way to think about entertaining interactive media and how it can relate to your life. So there's a specific part that I wanted to talk about today, and it's talking about challenge, right? Like, I'll just read this paragraph. So it says, one of the things that designers use to craft a player's experience of trying to reach their goal is challenge. All games provide some level of challenge, even if the players provide it themselves. Challenge is often described in relation to the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, butchered his name, his idea of the flow states. For the psychologist, flow is described as a state of high focus and enjoyment. Perhaps most famous is his chart of the flow state, showing the flow channel between anxiety and boredom, rising with skill and challenge. Many game designers use the concept of flow state to describe an ideal difficulty for level design, increasing the challenge to fit evolving player skill by just the right amount to avoid spiking into anxiety or plummeting towards boredom. So this is actually what the graph looks like, right? So you can see the y-axis is challenge and the x-axis is skill. And now in between, you find this adjusting ceiling as you progress through the game where you're getting more skill and the game's getting more challenging. Now, games can handicap this by letting you select easy, medium, hard, extra, advanced, right? But essentially, the game designer is taking you along a progression and they're guiding you through a story, right? Now, you can think about this same anxiety, boredom kind of guided path in your professional career, right? One of the great issues that I had with working for other people was that I felt like my skill was progressing, but my challenge was not. So instead of it going like this in a straight linear fashion and kind of oscillating between the two, I felt like my skill was going out and getting better, but then the challenge wasn't rising with it. One of the wonderful things about entrepreneurship is that you're never bored, right? It's almost always anxiety because the challenge is always great, right? If you start to do something well, that's great. There should be 10 other things that you're not doing well. And so for a gamer, for somebody who is very addicted to challenge and rising to new skill sets, entrepreneurship is really wonderful in that sense. So I can't recommend this book enough. It's Games, Design, and Play by Colleen Macklin and John Sharp. And I'm actually gonna tag them in this video and start trying to get these kind of game designers to join me in this conversation about it. But even if you're not a really big video gamer, I strongly recommend this book for you product managers, just in thinking about how you design specifically B2C products. So that's it, guys. I hope you have a great day, and thank you as always for being a part of the journey. Bye-bye.